What's good? What's good? Your boy is back. Feels like it's been ages because it has been. How you guys doing? I think it's been a week since I last streamed, at least 6 days. It's like an eternity around here. But I hope everyone's good. Hope you've been keeping well. Obviously, there was no UFC this weekend, so that had a big part of it. But more importantly, I just couldn't be bothered. Didn't really feel like going on, but I'm here now, and I'm looking forward to catching up with everyone, seeing how everyone's doing. Shout out to you, Jesse. I hope you've had your fight already and that it went well. Yeah, looking forward to hopefully getting into it tonight. Hopefully my whole audience hasn't abandoned me. I had my Muay fight today. See, I just brought it up. I know my boys in the community. How did it go? And are you messaging from a hospital bed? Is my next question. How you doing, bro? How did it go? Did you get the knockout? More importantly, tell me some stories. What's going on? What is going on? I bet the adrenaline rush you had for it was sensational. That's the one thing I've always regretted about not oh, you won by decision. Well done. How you doing, Angie? What's good? Hope you're well. I've just realized my throat sounds a little bit off. I sound like I've been fucked in the neck. I was about to say again, never been fucked in the neck. And now I've sworn. Anyway, I'm glad you won. Well done. I hope you took some footage of it like you promised you would. I want to see that uploaded ASAP so I can give my professional critique of your performance while obviously having no authority whatsoever. 4-0 to the Arsenal. How you doing, Shotty? You beat Wigan, mate. I mean, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. And the title race is back on. And obviously, I've got a little bit more pep in my step because obviously Newcastle are back on track somewhat. Got a couple of away wins under the belt. Don't know if you saw that Villa game. I'm not one to complain about refereeing, but oh my God, that was the most atrocious refereeing I've ever seen. It was bad. I'm not even sick. I'm just realizing now that I'm talking that I've got a little bit of a tickle or something. I don't know. I was just outside. I took like an hour and a half walk. It was nice. How you doing, Kloss? What's good? No, I don't feel particularly bad. I've been working out hard lately. Been looking after myself. I just think being outside in the freezing cold. It snowed today for a little bit as well. You know, that little pussy snow where it doesn't settle, but it was snowing. So it still counts. Well, how you doing, Kloss? What's good, man? Good to see you here as always. Yeah, so everything's good. I've got a week off work, so I'm going to be working at home. Newcastle. I much prefer the old castle personally. Yeah, you're not alone in that sentiment, mate. But now my football team's back on track. We were looking in real danger there, but Frankie wearing his Marika Yeehaw top today. It's actually a hoodie underneath another shirt because I was out in the cold and I literally got back 5 minutes ago. So I'd already pushed the stream back enough. So I was like, nah, I'm not even going to bother. I'm just going to jump straight on. So that's the reason. But I like this color. I don't have enough clothing like this that's very bright, you know. I was bleeding a little bit from the nose, but I pulled out the decision every round one. That's good, man. All that experience counts. Being able to keep concentrated for, I don't know how many, I'm assuming it was 3-minute rounds because it's amateur. Yeah? I'm assuming you did 3-minute rounds. But it's nice to get in there for a solid 9 minutes, keep your composure. Because the problem with fighting in most cases is like you don't, like it's easy to lose concentration in a moment and just get absolutely rattled. A long time no see. How you doing, Johan? Johan, it's been a while, man. You know that I finished Monster. I think we spoke about that already, but I hope you're well, man. All right, we are about 4 minutes in. Why is it that women are so stupid? Am I right? I was talking, when I went for a walk, I went out with my brother, and we were literally talking about that I was walking with him for about an hour and a half, and at least 90% of it was talking about how dumb women are. So yes, I'm always happy to talk about that. It's a topic that never gets tiring for me. I hate them. I hate them all. Yeah, 3 by 3. 9 minutes is perfect. It's a nice, like I said, it must have been a nice experience. I would love to do that, even at my age. I'd love to get in there and just do an amateur bout. If I get the chance in the next couple of years, if I get like 6 months training under my belt, I'll go in there with another amateur and just for the experience, you know. I would love to just have the adrenaline of that, you know, going in there with somebody who wants to batter me respectfully. I spent Valentine's training, and it's just another day, mate. It's another day, bro. I can't believe today I got £3,000 profit, $3,000 profit from a stake. Congratulations, man. I've only ever won that kind of money on a handful of occasions. Usually, it's just little losses here and there, and little wins here and there. Couple hundred here, couple hundred there. But I only bet in small amounts. So have a good one, Francis. Hope you're recovering well, Angie. Yeah, I'm not gonna go on too much about that, but yeah, I hope you're well and recovering well, and just concentrating on that. What did you make the money from, Kaifi Azad? What was it from? Tapura is gonna murder Gaethje. That fight is a fucking execution. It is. I think it was HT MMA, who I really like, by the way. He described it as like walking the plank, which is a really good analogy, because that's exactly what it's gonna be. It's going to be a complete and utter destruction. I landed a vicious left hook on an owl. Fucker tried to rob me. Equal rights equals equal fights, mate. He came for the thunder. He got the little winged prick got what he deserved. Don't become a gambling victim. Never gamble. I completely agree with that. I literally only gamble. I set a certain amount where I gamble. Like, it's usually £25 a weekend, and that's it. Are you drunk? I wish, man. I wish. How you doing, Smelly Fingers? What's up, man? 6 months since Hamzat beat DDP with no title defense booked. Paramount era sucks. I said this would happen though, with Hamzat particularly. This is why I didn't want him being champion. It's not because he's Muslim. That doesn't help. It's not because he's a liar and horrible to watch at certain times. It's because I knew the prick wasn't going to fight. Every vote to cut Colby from. That's what I'm talking about, Leroy. That's how you get them likes up. And I said Jolton Almeida was going to get cut as well. I'm all over the place. What all is announced for the White House card? Absolutely nothing. But I have a feeling, yeah, that that Harry Potter on meth comment just got me. I'm going to get to that in a minute. They haven't announced anything yet, but you're getting the feeling that they're building up to that. Like they're kind of withholding the cards so far, or they're giving us these skinny cards so far so that they can guarantee they've got everyone available for that card. Yo, bro, my girlfriend cheated on me with my dog. What should I do? Your actual dog? Can I just clarify? It's not an actual animal. Harry Potter on meth. I'm not even going to address it. I'm just going to say fair play, mate. I've been told I look like, and I am slimming down quite significantly. Never taken any drugs in my life, apart from a bit of weed when I was younger. But appreciate the comment, mate. Have you been taking estrogen injections, mate? I'm stacked under here. No man titties to be spoken of, mate. No milk coming out of these bad boys. What's the most you've lost gambling? The most I've lost is like £300, and the most I've won is like 6-7 grand. I hate it when I'm at the gym and some baddie wears some night as tights and stands right next to me. I'm trying to lift, not get a boner. Does that still cause it? Hey Frank, I'm in Spain right now. How you doing? How you feeling, big boss? Yes, Harry Speed, the guy fighting in Zuffa boxing in Boxing 3 looks exactly like Jared Cannonier. The thumbnail keeps coming onto my screen. Zuffa boxing is going to be a resounding failure. It will be shut down in the next 2 months. The next 2 to 3 years, it will be gone. Because they've got a long way to go. Luke Riley versus Michael Aswell isn't actually the Kona. It is, man. It should be Michael Venom Page. And even that fight's ridiculous. I don't know. This London card is horrible. But it sticks to the whole, like, the way that the UFC's been going the last 3 to 4 months. Every card is pretty shit. And the London card is just another one that's very underwhelming. But it could have some banger fights, so let's just give it a chance. What hoodie is that? It's a t-shirt over a hoodie. How you doing, Macho? What's good, man? You have a female face features. Hasn't stopped me with the ladies, mate. Hasn't stopped this fully heterosexual man just raging out there and laying down dick. So you can say whatever you want. It's fine with me. I would be sensitive about such comments if I look like a female and I was getting no pussy. But I'm doing very well. So I'll take it. And some women are into that kind of thing. I was working like a maniac the last couple months, but still a big fan of you. I appreciate that, Adolfo, man. And you're one of the you're becoming one of one of the OGs now. Bo Bros, hey, shout out from Canada. Shout out to you, man. I've never been to Canada, but I'm planning. It's one of the countries on the list. But shout out to you. Shout out to you, Hoosers or Hosiers or whatever the hell you call yourself. That looks like an astronaut's hoodie, fam. I just like the color. It's a t-shirt on top of a hoodie. Did you see Beyonce Wilder's crash out? I did see it. I saw it. Him calling the racism card is crazy just because he wanted to ask a question about Tyson Fury. It makes no sense to me. Deontay Wilder is brain dead though. It's all good, smelly fingers. Are you excited for Pancake Day this Tuesday? Not really, man. Your boy will get a couple pancakes in. You have a very strong face. Thanks, man. Thanks. I've got very sharp features. You look like the cop that says, "Excuse me, sir, I am a female police officer." Oh, that hurts. Frankie equals Elliot Page. I got a haircut, man. I don't look. Oh, I do still kind of look. I look even more like Elliot Page than before when I had the long hair. Frankie has more testosterone than he's obese 30. This is what I'm saying. My boy Vamos just. It's nice to have some support in the chat. I know there's fighters who decline a fight and when asked, they'll say they accepted it. It happens all the time. There are pussios everywhere, mate. Pussios everywhere. When are you going to make a Dougie level introduction? What's a Dougie level introduction? What's that? How do you see Holloway versus Oliveira? I think Max is going to hurt him bad. I think Oliveira's going to win, but it's going to be razor close. It's a difficult one, you know. It's obviously much different to when they fought the first time, and Oliveira got that really weird esophagus injury, or that esophagus tear. I'm picking Oliveira in this one. I just think he's if it takes place on the feet the whole fight, Holloway's going to piece him up. But I think Oliveira will find his way in and get him down. Do you have any Nintendo Switch game recommendations? The only game I've played on Switch over the last couple of years is Stardew Valley. I like those pick up and play ones, but I don't really play a lot of Switch games, which I know sounds stupid. Did you start training because everyone said you look like a girl? No, I've been training for years. I don't mind having feminine-esque features. I've got like very slender fingers, you know, but that's working for me these days. This metrosexual shit or this metrosexual facial features are certainly working for your boy in Big 2026. Dougie made a sick intro clip for the regulars in chat. I ain't got time for all that. I don't have a serious YouTube career, mate. This is all a lark to me. I'm in it for the game. I'm not in it to be serious. Stardew Valley. You should catch it sometime. I watch all of Dougie's videos. I'm surprised I don't know what you're referencing. They finally freed Metal Gear Solid 3 from the PS3. That game had to be remade. And it's the only Metal Gear Solid game that I haven't played properly. Stardew Valley, yeah. It's like a farming sim, and it's highly addictive, and you can pick up and drop it anytime. It's a game that I highly recommend, Stardew Valley. Max wins the first 3 rounds, but slows in the round because of Dew Bronx's pressure. Then Oliveira will 10-8 Holloway in the 4th and win the 5th. So you're going for a draw. You kind of look like Bruce Jenner. Ouch. Again, it hasn't held back my game. The best type of fighters to poke eyes with and bum holes to. How you doing, bro? Has nasty body shots. He does. I was watching some Volt clips the other day of just his work, and just I love fighters that go to the body. I think it's so underrated. You know, people that get underneath the guard and then use that to open everything up. They're my favorite fighters. So like Joshua Van's really good at that. Volkanovski's really good at that. You know, I almost said I love guys that lay the pipe. I meant lay the groundwork. I don't know where my mind is at the moment. They need to remake Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. They 100% do, mate. Those games have not aged well. I said this before. I tried to go back and play them. and they have not aged well. They're horrible to play. You look like you own a dildo. I don't. But it says more about you that you're making that suggestion than it does about me. The fact that you're looking at me and thinking, this guy fucks himself up the ass. A draw or Olives will finish Jerome like how he beat Poirier. I don't hate that as a take. I don't think Oliveira will lose all 3 rounds though, because if you're in it with him for that long, he's in it. So I can see, Yeri. I love Yeri. Clinch knees and body teeps, love it. I love people that know how to work the body. Garcia or Barrios? I'm thinking Barrios embarrasses Ryan. Bro's hella thing is, Garcia is a weird one. Yeah, he's not really a pro. He's not a real pro boxer, but he's obviously very, very skilled. I think Barrios is going to beat him up as well. I think it's going to be embarrassing. By the way, guys, if you could like the stream, I'd really appreciate it. I always forget to ask, but it obviously makes a difference in getting the eyeballs out to the lives and getting new people in here. So give up what? Be more specific. There's loads of things I should be giving up. What? Do you think Conor is going to come back? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I spoke about this in the last stream. There's some problems with the pay-per-view points and him wanting to renegotiate his contract. And for a guy who hasn't fought in that amount of time, he's obviously training, so that's encouraging. But I think it's going to take a lot to get over those incidentals. I think they'll find a way. Right now, I give it 80-20 that he doesn't fight again. Garcia versus Conor Benn at a state. Well, Conor Benn is going for the Shakur Stevenson fight where he'll get destroyed. But I can see them doing him and Ryan Garcia after he loses. Garcia is making himself look bad on purpose. I don't think he is. I think he's just on something. And then he clears his head out and then he goes, I was joking. He's that kind of fella. I've been saying Conor is never fighting again. We were talking about it in 2023. And I agree with you. Like how he did to Haney. I mean, I don't rate Haney though. That's the thing. Haney's looked better in his last few fights. But before that, he's fucking boring. And you can see the holes in his game. And Garcia exploited them beautifully. Styles make fights and all that. Garcia embarrassed Haney. And that's... Haney showed his true colors or his true ceiling in that fight. But he keeps winning now, so... And he's a champion, so... They should just make Conor versus Islam. Nah, we don't need to see that again. We've already seen that fight. They fought already. Don't you remember? Shakur Stevenson is the new boxing genius. Don't see anyone on this level. Yeah, he's another one who's going to end. He's gonna have like a... He'll finish his career undefeated, I reckon. He's way too slick. Coked up McGregor is a mythical undefeated fighter. Now he's the mythical defeated fighter. Since he started getting on the coke, he's been embarrassing himself and everyone else. Most of boxing is boring and gay. I couldn't agree with you more. But like when boxing is amazing, it's unbelievable. But when it's boring, it's like really boring. Hot take. Who wins, Conor or Jubilee? 50-50, mate. 50-50. We've spoken about this previously. Yeah, it's very difficult to find a viable matchup for Conor these days. And I spoke about it on the last stream. I'll say it again. The only real options are Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal. That's all you can really do. Outside chance, you can do Michael Chandler, but that win means nothing now. Haney brutally dropped Brian Norman in his last fight and just sat back the rest of the fight when he could have gone it. That's who he is, though, and his dad's an absolute disgrace. I hate having Devin Haney's dad. He's a weirdo. I don't like him. I don't like him. He's just a weird guy. Not a fan. And there's something about Haney that just really irks me because he talks a lot of shit, but he's so boring to watch. He's horrible to watch. Horrible. Conor versus Paddy the Baddy. I don't hate that, but I don't hate that. They could realistically do that. Yeah, Bill Haney's a wanker. Conor McGregor one punch sat down that one guy at a bar, and you also knocked out the mascot, bro. You ain't counting right. Ah, yeah, good point. He didn't one punch sat down that one guy in the bar though. You mean the one in IB4? You mean the old guy? Remember, he also got a decision against that old guy in his own bar. Remember that? One of those boxing fathers who loves the spotlight. Yeah, and I think they're both cringe. Makachev is a pussy, didn't want the Superior fight and calls him out now at 170. I think Ilya summed it up perfectly. I don't think Makachev avoided that fight. I just think he was thinking he's tired of people living on the narrative that he beat up former featherweights. And he wanted to carve his own legacy and get a second belt. And he had an opportunity to do that. Because if they'd given, he couldn't go for it while Bilal was the champion for some reason. Because Bilal acted like they were, John Fury, fucking, don't even get me started on that idiot. But the reason with John Fury where I'm a little bit less is because Tyson's an even bigger idiot. But no, with the Makhachev fight, I feel like he just wanted to carve his own legacy, and that of course he's going to want to fight him at 170. And for those daggy guys that are that thick, it's difficult for them to stay at 155. So I heard that the Islam and Morales fight is becoming more and more of a possibility. He probably sees that as more winnable than Ian Gary and or an easier fight than Ian Gary and well, Shavkat's out of the picture now. Anyone else find it corny when MMA fighters talk about street fights and killing? When can you give me an instance of when that's happened? I can't think of one off the top of my head. But you're right. Islam versus Conor in Dublin. Who says no to that? Nobody says no to it. I mean, we just want Conor back at this point because of the gravitas that he brings to events. Even if he's looking very decent in training, but we've said this so many times. I'm personally indifferent to whether he comes back or not, but my tune will change quickly once he gets a fight booked. What's wrong with Tyson Fury? He's a cunt. He's an horrible cunt. He basically padded his career he padded his career with nothing fights his entire career. He's delusional. He treats his family like shit. He's just genuinely a delusional idiot. I don't like Tyson Fury. Fury versus Magom. I think that's what they're looking for. Makhmedov. I think that's what they're doing. I think Fury just beats him with the reach. It's a dangerous fight though. Joaquin Buckley to Shakur and whatever MMA. Oh, it is gay. I hate when people do that. What does gravitas mean? It basically means like it's kind of like that stardust, that star power. It's like an elevation of the proceedings just by his mere presence. You know, he adds something just by being there. He brings eyeballs in. He brings excitement. That's what I mean by gravitas, and you know what it means. Ian Gary is hard to take down and is a better range striker than Islam. I think Ian Gary would be a hell of a difficult fight for Islam. I think he'd win. I think Islam would win, but I could see that being a 3 rounds to 2 type thing. Very close decision. People forget, man, Fury was supposed to be a layup for Wilder. Wilder is a terrible boxer, though. Skills-wise, it was a hell of a mismatch, you know? Hey, man, you kind of look like that actor Halek Mayen. Who's that? How you doing, Alberto? I don't know whether I should be upset or not. But seeing as you threw the love heart in there, I'm going to assume that's a good-looking individual, so thank you very much. I want the Pacquiao-Barrios rematch next. Is that the one did Pacquiao win that fight or did he get robbed? I can't remember. Both things could be true. What's the synonym for gravitas? It's very hard to find a direct synonym for it. It has a very, very specific meaning for what it is. There are words you could have that are kind of similar, but they wouldn't have the same contextual meaning as what gravitas has. I feel like that's a word that has its own kind of impact or its own kind of specific use. Wilder saw Fury coming back after morbid obesity and drug addiction for 5 years and thought it was easy pickings. He made a big error and it got worse every time they fought. The more in shape he got. And he 100% won that fight. Dubois going to win 8 rounds and get TKO'd in the 9th by Wardley. Very, very possible. Very, very. Have they booked that fight already? Pacquiao made me proud with that. But Pacquiao is one of the all-time greats. The reason why Pacquiao will never get considered a GOAT of the sport wrongly is because I think he's got like 7 or 8 losses on his record. But he went up through like 8 different weight classes. And he always fought a hard fight. He should be considered in the boxing GOAT conversation. Pacquiao got robbed of history being the oldest lighter champ with that BS decision. It was a horrible decision, but this is what boxing does every single time. It means like weight or interest in something. Yeah, but in terms of how you contextually use it, it's very hard to find a direct synonym for it. But of course, the root word is gravity. But yeah, it's just about adding that sort. And even though like it doesn't direct, it's kind of a tricky one. Pacquiao was on steroids. So what, mate? At 40 odd years old, he should be able to take whatever the fork he wants. Draw. Oh, it was a draw. I guess that's less fucked up. I had Pacquiao winning that fight 8 rounds to 4. It was a very, very clear win, but we see that all the time. That's like DJ going all the way up to lightweight, heavy, welterweight. Exactly. I've been watching. I don't know if you guys caught this. I've been watching the the DJ training videos of Armin, and it just solidifies to me why the guy has got one of the highest IQs in the game and is undoubtedly the GOAT of the sport. I think there's no question. You could see that Armin was like mesmerized by the stuff that DJ was able to do. And Armin's a very stuck up individual, but he was sat in there like, nah, I wish I was like this guy. I wish I could do what this guy does. Pacquiao went pro in 1994 and arguably won a world title in 2025. That's insane. I know, it's crazy. What's your club, mate? Dan Jr., I'm a Newcastle United fan. And I'm willing to admit that now because we're back on a little bit of a win streak. If you asked me a couple of weeks ago, I would have gone, what's that mean? I don't support anyone. I would have denied. Pacquiao never tested positive or used illegal IVs, unlike Floyd. The thing is that you can take the cheating thing in and out of it with Floyd Mayweather, but the skills were very, very clear. Do you have a favorite boxer, Frankie? Oh, it's a hard one, you know. My favorite boxers are people. I wouldn't say I've got a standout. The guys I've got like watching now, I like slick technicians. I like someone like Inoue, and I appreciate someone like Crawford. But back then, I was kind of into brawlers and people who just bit down on the mouthpiece. I liked, your Ricky Hatton types. I love Lomachenko. I love Triple G. I was never really a Canelo fan because I didn't think he was as technically brilliant as those guys. But people like that, I would say, are people that I really enjoyed. You love Armin. I'm not surprised. If Barrios damn near lost to old man Pacquiao, he's food for Garcia. Don't know, man. Barrios is a weird one, man. He's a weird, and Garcia's a weird one because with him, you never really know what kind of performance he's going to put in. You never know. I saw the same video. You're a Leeds fan. I hope Leeds stay up. Massive club. Maybe not massive club, but definitely a very big club, a historical club. I hope you guys stay up. You've been brilliant this season. I'm glad you stuck with Farker because goddamn, that guy's had a rough end of the stick. Getting fired every time he gets people up. He's never really had a prolonged chance. And you guys have looked brilliant. I was on the Nigel Benn side of things, super shotty. But now that I've got older and I go back and watch those fights, as an older man, I'm a Chris Eubank fan all day. I loved Chris Eubank. Frank Bruno, Bruiser. Do you buy the same broads when you pay for fun or do you diversify your portfolio? I've never paid for pussy in my life. That's my official stance. Ryan couldn't snatch Gorlak the Destroyer's purse. Yeah, she's an abomination. You notice though, yeah, he really went hard on her, which I really appreciated. In a way, it's good, but I feel a lot of his ops get scared of him and win by surviving him. That's not a bad take. Do you think World War I or World War II was worse? World War II was probably definitely scary for the locals, but World War I was longer and more prolonged. I would say World War I was probably worse. Well, World War II probably felt worse for the boys because it genuinely felt like we were going to lose that one. Whereas World War I, it always felt like we were in charge. Orange flavored chocolate is a big thing in the UK. Not really. Terry's chocolate orange had a run there. I personally am not a fan of it, but certain people fuck with it. I never see people eating chocolate orange these days. And when Cardenas spammed left hooks, this is the thing. It's like there's clear holes that can be exploited there. Canelo started believing in his power too much and stopped throwing combinations. I don't think he's all that technically good. If you watch that Mayweather fight, Mayweather absolutely outclassed him. Don't lie to us. You paid for pussy like the rest of us. This is a very hot topic for me. I'm never going to admit this on stream. You can fill in the rest yourself. I can go into a very specific situation where that has happened. To fight in World War I was the worst war ever. I would agree with that. Should I diversify my portfolio? 100%. You should always look to broaden your horizons. I like Ben Whitaker. Dances around a wing. Can't wait to watch him. I like Ben Whitaker. I'm not against any of that. I enjoy all the show. Prince Nazim Hamid was another one that I really loved. I would say Prince Nazim Hamid was probably the one I enjoyed watching the most. I like people who take the piss a little bit, who humiliate their opponents. It's why like a lot of people shit on MVP. And by the way, shout out to the Bodak Show. Subscribe to that channel. A lot of people shit on MVP and they say he's boring and stuff, or that he only point fights. But he humiliates people when he's in there. And I enjoy that. He toys with people. Guys being stuck in the trenches for 8 months at a time with their rotting mates around them, drowning in mud. Yeah, it was horrific. Yeah, he took it easy on the pretty girl and let Gore like really have it. He was bullying some tiny girl on the street. I mean, Ryan Garcia is a piece of shit, but he's funny. The only pussy I pay for is the Taiwanese ladyboys because it's only costs $5 US. Back in the day, maybe. Prince Nazim versus Kevin Kelly in '97 was the shit. I watched that fight like 3 months ago because I went to go and see his movie Giant, which was a very decent film. It was more about the coach, I feel, than Nazim Hamed, and it's not an amazing movie, but I went back and watched some old Prince Nazim fights, and the Kelly fight in particular, he embarrassed the shit out of him. His debut in America was when he did a 20-minute dance before walking out and messing with his opponent's mind. This is when the psychological Prince Nazim Hamed is a legend. And then he obviously went on to lose to Barrera, and then going on to see an old Barrera lose to Amir Khan of all people was crazy. Was he really a Prince of Arabia? Yeah, mate. Absolutely. Absolutely. If only MVP had fight-ending power, he'd probably be the most. He does have fight-ending power. MVP does. He plays it safe. He puts that playing it safe thing behind the masquerade of like toying with his opponents a bit, and that's why he gets a lot of criticism. But he dented a guy's skull in, mate. Kevin Kelly was a bad man. Kevin Kelly was sick, and Kevin Kelly got absolutely humiliated. What up, Frank? How you doing, bro? How you doing, Grimy? What's good, man? Nazim Hamed would wipe Amir Khan. Amir Khan's got no chin, and Nazim Hamed had crazy power and crazy footwork. Still gutted about Ricky Hatton. I still don't know the full circumstances about that. Did he himself? Because I haven't heard the circumstances around, or I haven't really looked into it. Did he die of natural causes, or was it a self-deletion type situation? I love Ricky Hatton. I was so gutted when he lost to Floyd Mayweather. Ricky Hatton wasn't the most technical boxer in the world. He was a good boxer, but he got through by sheer will. Proper man of the people. I love Ricky Hatton. His fight and the build up to the Mayweather fight was peak boxing, 100%. The way he mocked Floyd Mayweather was just cinema, and the fight was pretty good too. I wasn't as understanding about boxing as I was, and I felt like he was doing well in the fight. But when I went back and watched it a couple of years ago, he got absolutely outclassed throughout the entire thing. He took himself out. I wish I hadn't asked. Boxing would be so good if they filled their gloves with plaster. Some of them do, mate. There's been a lot of controversies about that. MVP is more timing than power. Well, the thing is, later on in his career, he definitely has been. But to be fair, he was showing power when he was fighting mostly cans. So I get what you said. He does have power, though. I mean, he knocked down Jared. Who did he fight? I think in his last couple of fights, he's had some really good knockdowns. He hasn't had spark you out power for a little while, but I wouldn't put him in the category of pillow fisted. But but the precision is everything. Fighters say this all the time. When you go for knockouts, they very rarely come. It's when you catch somebody unexpected, when you set something up that they're not expecting. That's when you get the. People talk about Conor bringing 20K Irish to Vegas. Ricky did it 8 years previous. Ricky Hatton had the most loyal partisan following you'll ever see. And he used to give up a lot of his purse to bring people over and to pay for tickets. He was a proper man of the people. Him self-deleting is one of the saddest things, like genuinely. More like he caught them off balance. Fair enough. I mean, Antonio Margarito literally filled his gloves with plaster of Paris when he fought Cotto. Should have been charged criminally. He should have gone to jail for that 100%. I could not agree more. I could not agree more. Ricky brought that foot, and that's them saying the atmospheres. The atmosphere was just sensational. Like it's just he brought a different level of like, I don't know, just again, it's that gravitas. It's that feeling of the event. You know, Oreos and milk still slaps, Chrissy. It absolutely does. I woke up in the middle of the night with a craving for rich tea biscuits the other day, and your boy satisfied it. Why did Hatton self-delete? There's a couple of things. I mean, obviously he had a lot of CTE because he used to get beaten up a lot. A lot. Gerard Janssen, you look like you fart a lot. I do, but always privately. Always privately, mate. I never do it in the company of others or in elevators. I'm a considerate father. Did the ref not allow Hatton to work in the clip? Yeah, he was breaking it up quite a bit. I don't think it would have made a difference, to be honest. I don't think it would have. But the ref was definitely breaking things up an awful lot. Margarito just seems like a little prick. You'd be right. Ah, I want Oreos and milk now. Of course you do, you round cunt. In fact, I might fuck with that. Do y'all drink coconut milk? Coconut milk's all right. Coconut milk's not bad. I would say I might fuck with it when I'm on holiday, but I don't just get it casually, you know. Thousands of people attended Hatton's funeral in Manchester. He was so beloved. I'm surprised it wasn't more than that even. I mean, if we're talking about a real man of the people, I never heard, like I said, I never heard about the details of his self-deletion because I didn't really want to look into it. But I did hear it kind of mentioned. If I'm assuming it was some kind of overdose or something. It's just tragic. How you doing? Raf? It's been a while. I want to eat all my son's Oreos, but all there is in this house is coconut milk. I need two. Maybe you might have unleashed a lethal combination there. I would say give it a go. Don't eat all of his Oreos, obviously, but maybe try it out. You might unlock something. How you doing, Pib? What's good, man? Sorry you got kicked out the other day, but you were being a cunt, an even more cunt than you, bigger cunt than usual. I never endorsed that, but I didn't really bat an eye either. But I hope you're well, Pib, and welcome back to the channel. If it doesn't come from a tit, it's not milk. Oh, I mean, fair enough. You've nailed that one. And you've got to get it direct from the source. That's approved by Fight Night Frankie. Just saw a pickup line. Check your drinks because you've been roofied. It's a brilliant pickup line. Or I saw someone slip something in your drink. Is a brilliant pickup line. It wasn't an OD. He hanged himself. I did not know that. Oh man. And the thing is that he was talking a lot about men's mental health and stuff. He was clearly going through a lot. He had the CTE thing. He'd become a little bit obese. He was one of those ones that you always knew was going to struggle after fighting because fighting was everything to him. He was obviously doing a little bit of training and stuff, but Pib, I didn't kick you out, but I might have deserved it. I personally didn't kick you out. And by the way, the person who did kick you out, they only meant to kick you out for 120 seconds and they accidentally banned you for the whole day. So that was genuinely a mistake. I didn't know you had feelings though. It was hearing he hung himself though is really, yeah. And he very much spoke about how he was, you know, he used to do coke and stuff and how he used to hit. I mean, you used to see him in between fights, but he was a salt of the earth, working from a working class background. He was always going to be susceptible to those kind of vices, you know. But I'm really just, I'm hurt to hear that. Because what a legend he was. Like, he really was. He was unbelievable for British boxing and just as a personality. But it goes to show, I mean, Paddy says it all the time after his fights, and he is a little bit wet when he says it. But he's right, though. A lot of men don't feel like they can talk about their mental health. And then things like this end up happening. I tried Kratom for the first time today. I didn't feel, what is Kratom? I've never heard of that. He would always just, this is the kind of guy, Ricky Hatton was the kind of guy who could go out. It's like I saw a video the other day of Nate Diaz in Newcastle, of all places, going for a Greg's. I'm like, only certain people can do that. Can go out on their own and just be approachable. We've got first male prime minister after 35 long years. What? Who? Cocaine is so inconvenient compared to crack. How fast do you think it would take if you eat a whole iceberg lettuce? I reckon I could run that in a couple minutes. I heard about the challenge, but I don't really want to be stuffing my face on live stream. I've got dignity. Some dignity. I'm not a fighter. I'm a professor. Tech around. I'm a professor of literature. I never professed to be a fighter. I've never done that. Your boy's been in a couple scraps, but nothing legal. Where did this iceberg lettuce bit thing come from? I went through a 3-year period where I used to only eat lettuce. I'm not joking. I used to be really scared of getting fat when I was a kid. Like, I mean, when I say kid, I mean like late teens. So I was a young adult. And I used to eat just salad and lettuce only for like 3 years. So you're fucking with the wrong bloke. But I reckon I could box that off in a couple minutes. Why are you a YouTuber if you have dignity? I'm not a YouTuber. No. A YouTuber is somebody who does this for some kind of monetization gain. Maybe I'm deluding myself. I probably am. But I don't consider myself a YouTuber. And that dignity comment was obviously tongue in cheek because we know that I've got none. 1 cup of lettuce is 8 calories. 1 cup of milk is 200 calories. This is what I'm saying. I used to be like wafer thin, mate. Not female, it is male, buddy. We ruled by women, been 35 years, but finally we got a male prime minister. Just gorgeous in lettuce, it's negative calories. Yeah. Well, if you want to lose weight, it's the way to go. The only thing you get from lettuce is a bit of water retention, but it's easy to work off. He's a YouTuber. You can. What are you doing live? What's the point? Well, Tech Around is basically just to build a nice community of people who enjoy MMA, because nobody in my real life enjoys MMA. I've spoken about this before. They all think it's gay, but it's kind of evolved into something else. It's kind of evolved into a male, we hate female support group. And we've got a few females up in this channel as well. You know, it just is what it is. It's just become like, I don't know. It's just, I'm in it for the game. I'm in it for the community. That's the aspect of it I enjoy. Just being able to talk about things that we enjoy. It might be gaming, it might be movies, which we've done in the past, sport in general. It's just a place for people to come and talk some shit and have their voices heard. And to know that I'm going to answer every say. Sometimes it's for people to come and troll, like the stream, please. It'd be nice if we could get 20 tonight. Is Zelda on the Switch too good for a 9-year-old? Yes. Yeah. It's definitely accessible. It's easy enough to kind of. It's one of those games that's easy to play but difficult to master. Even women don't like women. They're the worst. 100%. They're a blight on humanity, mate. Every time I get, every chance I get to meet up with my boys and my brother, I spent 90% talking about how much I hate them. And my stance will never change on that. I'll keep fucking with them, obviously. Billionaires became so bored in life, they became PDF files. Oh, mate. The stuff that's coming out and baby and cannibals, apparently. Last one was fascist women dictator. Wait, where is this? Sorry, Travis, I've completely forgotten where you are. So, like I said, Zelda's one of those games that's universally acceptable or universally accessible. Sorry. You can get through the game as a kid with minimal skill level or being able to work things out, but also the intricacies that they've added to games like Tears of the Kingdom and Tears of the Kingdom especially, where the things you can do with the meshing mechanic or the glue mechanic is the creative stuff that you can do in that game is crazy. But it's definitely one that's really good for all ages. Just get rich enough to where finances aren't a worry, but not enough to ride over your life. That's been my life goal, 100%. It's that comfortability factor. I've never wanted yacht money or Epstein Island money. I've just wanted enough where I don't have to worry about my bills coming in. I can buy whatever I feel like buying. I can go into a restaurant and pay whatever I want for. I'm not worried about the bill. Do you know what I mean? Bangladesh, you've had females in charge. Jesus Christ. Get your kid playing Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot is fucking frustrating to play, mate. Super frustrating. I used to crash out at that game all the time. Should we judge literature by today's moral standards or the era it was written in? In the era it was written in, and the same thing that the movies we watch should be the same. I hate when people retrospectively go back and start shitting on stuff that was sexist or homophobic or whatever back in the day. Nah. Who's played Geometry Wars? Spyro. Spyro was a good trilogy. Again, it always felt like a second-rate Mario or a second-rate. I never really got into it. Spyro has a very, very strong cult following. A lot of people love that game, but I never really had time for it. Jak and Daxter was a great game. I loved it. Ratchet and Clank, very similar ilk as well. The things they achieved on that PS5 version were amazing. The way that you could literally morph into different worlds that would just separate out in front of you. Incredible stuff. That's the next stage. Yeah, Ratchet and Clank, you see, it's like with a horse and harness again. We were supposed to have kids in our 20s and chill in our 30s. Why is it backwards now? Most people don't want to have kids now, and probably rightfully, because everything's just too expensive. William Shakespeare was a bigot. Of course he was. Of course he was. But he did write Othello, allegedly, which is very ahead of its time. The elected prime minister was in the UK for 17 years. He's back and won the election. He would be the first male prime. That is mad. Your country must be fucked. Or was fucked. Women should not be put in charge of anything serious. Never. I want to live to see my great grandkids, but I have not one child yet. You still got time. I'm hoping that at my age, I'll definitely have grandkids. Because I've obviously got a 21-year-old, a 17-year-old. They're due to have kids at some point. And various other kids out there. But anyway, I should hopefully, but I don't think I'll make it to great granddaddy age. And I had my first kid when I was 19, so. But it's a nice dream. Shakespeare sounds like how I get the last few drops after using the loo. You've never read Shakespeare, Vinny. Don't claim to be an intellectual. And by the way, supporting soccer to some extent, or football as it should be rightfully called, is not gay, my friend. Every philosopher, even the feminist ones, are misogynist. Because it's the truth. Women suck. And men suck too, it's just we're more self-aware. Grandfather Frankie has a ring to it. It does. It does. I'm looking forward to going through that all again, because I would 100% have another kid. I would. Even at my ripe old age of 41. I would love to have another baby in the house. Because my son's getting older now. You know, he's going to be 6 this year. I mean, I love seeing the progression that he's making. Every year is different. But I do miss those baby days as well. I love being a dad. It's the best part of my life. It's football, Cheddarhead. And you look like a football cunt. Love you, bro. Like a football dipped in cheese. Yeah. But no, I'd love to have more kids. I just don't know if it's on the cards for me now. But our new elected prime minister's mum was the most successful prime minister in my country. She died a couple of months. She was my favorite leader. That's surprising to hear. Don't think women should be put in charge of anything. I stand by that. I know it's been a while, but since 1 month, my Twitter account got suspended. What did it get suspended for? I don't use Twitter either. I don't think this Shakespeare was a bigot. A fellow would suggest otherwise. That was very ahead of his time. I have baby fever too. Get out there and breed before it's too late, mate. Renato's dad had a baby at 62 years old. Now, I wouldn't say it's over. I'm just saying, like, I obviously want a situation where I don't just have the baby, but I'm living with it as well. And with my current circumstances, that ain't going to happen. Because it's a little bit too late for that. So the only way that would ever happen is if I end up in another relationship somewhere down the line, or I end up living with another woman somewhere down the line, and then it happens that way. But with the current mother of my children, it ain't a thing for various reasons. Having kids is the biggest blessing and responsibility. Congrats to you, Frankie. I love, mate. Everyone has different, where it's the best time for you. I'm glad I had kids when I did. It was the making of me. It made me a man. I'm in my car driving. I'm listening, though. Nice to hear, Pio. I always like having you here, especially when you're in this kind of chilled mood. The Mexican girls here in America are extremely fertile, Frankie. I'll keep that in mind. And my sperm is incredible. Hits that bullseye every time. Incredible sperm your boy's got. Goated sperm. You can have an entire armada of little Mexicans, but I've heard fucking with those Latin women is a bad idea. I've heard they are next level fucked in the head. Let's be honest, Jay. If I have another kid, it's going to be with an Asian woman. And I'm speaking. Obviously, I'm going to say this, but my kids are all fucking beautiful. I mean, obviously, but you mix this with Asian, and it's like, good lord, beautiful kids. If you've just entered the stream and you've heard me say that, it's going to sound a little bit off. If only I could have 30 kids with 5 different mothers and abandon them all, because you're going to have to be making serious money to get away with that shit. It's expensive having one kid now. I think with my 3 kids combined, I'm easily spending 200 grand a year. Easy. Easy. And I don't really make that in my daily wage. So I've had to get creative. Sorry, in my yearly wage. So I've had to get creative with that shit. Want to see me in all the races. I love that idea. But there's certain races I'm just never going to fuck with. Make a black child. You already have an Asian kid. I'm going to keep that. Stum. Yeah, my wife is Chinese. A Chinese lawyer, to be specific. So your boy did well. Your boy did very well. This is Asian only. But mind you, I've never fucked with a Latina. I was with a Spanish girl very, very briefly, but as I've said before, that doesn't really count. It's like a diluted version. I need to try a proper mamacita, you know what I mean? To have the real experience. Maxwell, I'm not gonna say it, but I've already gone there. I kind of said it. But our previous prime minister was a dictator, and she is in India right now. She destroyed the economy of my country. She was mafia. Sounds like a cunt. Why are black kids expensive in particular? If you plan to bail them out. I should have seen that coming, but I didn't want to say it. You had to say it. I was in a close relationship with a Hmong lady. Is that a Vietnamese lady, or are you making stuff up again? All kids are expensive. They are. This is why people are so put off it, man. The amount of money you've got to spend on education and food so expensive now, and just everything, clubs and all of it's expensive. Either go American black or Caribbean black. So much fun. That's not going to happen. That is absolutely not going to happen. American women and British women, to me, are in the same boat that I would kick out into the middle of the ocean and sink. No, I don't fuck with. My first ever girlfriend was a white woman. I don't like white women. I'm not attracted to them in the slightest. I don't like them physically. I think they've got weird pussies, and I don't like I generally don't like the attitude of white women that I deal with. True story. For 2 years when I was 20, but what does that mean? Hmong. That sounds like you're trolling. Bail these nuts out, kid. Fruitcake. Damn, it's 5:19 a.m. in my country. I'm good to go today, funnily enough, because I've obviously, of me being in education, I've got the next week off. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of like work at home, like you always have to when you're in this game. But I can wake up at whatever time I feel like, so I'm good to go. I don't think I'm gonna stay on here that long. I think this is gonna be a short one tonight because I'm just kind of getting back into things. But we'll see. I love blonde white women. Yeah, I don't. Hmong is Indonesian. Oh, I was unaware of that. So quite dark-skinned Asians then. That's what you're into. Means Indonesian, basically. It feels weird hearing you speak like a normal person. Forgive me if it's taking me a little while to catch up here, but you very rarely have a normal take in here, or you'll very rarely share aspects of your life. I wish you would do it more. I like this side of you. Do you consider yourself wise or well educated? I think once you make that, once you make that assumption about yourself, then that's where you make mistakes. I'm always open to saying and doing stupid things. So I still feel like growth is always got to be the target, you know? So I do think I'm wiser than I was. Hmongs are the George Floyds of Asia. Trust Cheddarhead to put it in the most eloquent way possible. But Indonesians are generally they're more dark skinned from what I remember. Indonesia and Poland have the exact same flag, but flipped. Good, nice observation. I did not clock that. Getting sick and tired of dirty liberals. I was sick and tired of them from the beginning, mate. Sick and tired of them from the beginning. I told you, Travis, here. I briefly was with a Bangladeshi woman, and when I say I was briefly with her, I hit her a couple of times. I think her name was Naziz, something like that. And she was very, very, very flexible. You know what I'm saying? Arsenal back in full form. You beat fucking Wigan, mate. Calm down. You've drawn quite a few games. You're definitely starting to look a bit shaky. I would be very scared if I was you. I bet Arsenal are going to win multiple trophies this year or nothing. They won't win just one. What does flippant mean? It means that you kind of disregard things very easily, or that you change on a dime very, very quickly. Women with armpit hair makes me sick. I'm not a fan of hair in general. I don't like hairy vaginas. I don't like hairy legs. I don't like hairy anything. Hairy arms will put me off. Even little bits of hair on the arm. That's a no-go, mate. Do you like feminists? No. Why does everyone hate Arsenal? Because they've got the dumbest, stupidest, most delusional fans. They whine and whinge all the time. They feel like the world's against them. And they get more favorable decisions than any club I've ever seen. We call them Varsnal. They are the most dumb fans. They crash out and they bottle it so much. They're the worst. I haven't heard of it, Pib. What is that? Do you think Messi wins another World Cup? I don't. Poland is dope as well. They help the Haitians. Poland is a weird country because they're very much stay out of my country, but they're also quite based and open as well. Man City will do nothing. That's the reason why I think you're going to win the league. I don't think you're going to win it by necessarily being the best team, which you probably are at this point. I'm probably hating at that in that regard. But I think Man City will lose games between now and the end of the season. But they do have the capability to go on a winning run in the league. They just do. They hate Arsenal because we have the most fans. Yeah, it's comments like that. You just proven my point. It's delusional, dumb shit like that makes you hated. But also as well, yeah, it's more personal to me because most of my friends are Arsenal fans, and 99% of them are dumb, like real dumb. I'll look into it, Pip. It's nice to hear. I hope you're having a serious conversation. It's a plant you can take in capsules, and it binds to your opioid receptors. Interesting. You're going to have to go through a track record of having serious conversations with me before I take anything you're saying seriously. But we're on the right track. Basically, it's nature's version of heroin. It's legal. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Thoughts on Scousers? Don't really have like a general thought of the old bin dippers. Arsenal own London Unique. I haven't heard the word "neek" in a few years. Chelsea own London. Chelsea's blue, mate, and I hate Chelsea just as much as I hate Arsenal. But until you win a European trophy, in fact, until you start winning anything, really, you can't have that conversation. Chelsea are undoubtedly the biggest club in London, and it's stupid. Cava is another plant. Yeah, I don't know if I should be trying these things. I'll definitely look it up because, my curiosity will get the better of me. Why are you doing this to me, Matua? What's a synonym for flippant? One just came into my head. Obtuse, perhaps. Chelsea own piss face all. Mate, they're two-time European champions. They win stuff. They're the current world champions, even though I don't agree with that title at all. Arsenal is a cool name for a town. It kind of is. You can get kratom at smoke shops. Interesting. Dismissive. Dismissive is close. But dismissive is more like you just disregard something, whereas flippant is where you just literally, you go from having one opinion to immediately disregarding it and taking up another. Whereas you can dismiss something without changing your opinion, if that makes sense. So they are very different words, but they're in the same ballpark. OGs remember Oliveira's Lucky Rock. What Lucky Rock? Asian women bobs are attractive, but not the all think. What? You can't. Yeah, if Brendan Schaub's obsessed with it, then it might be a problem. Brendan Schaub's having a little bit of a comeback, though, because his takes on this whole Epstein thing are actually doing quite well for him. Also, I love how Garn is getting rewarded with another title shot. I told you that Alex Pereira was going to go up to heavyweight, and Argenti was saying it's never going to happen. Another thing I was right about. I should have doubled or nothing with him. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. I love your stream. I'm not really a YouTuber, but I love the fact that you enjoy being here. And you are a very prominent member of this community. Please like and subscribe. Asian pussy is a bioweapon. Rocky has nailed it. It is. It starts off by getting like the Asian fever. And then before you know it, it becomes full-known plague. And you're just balls deep. Kratom is the new alternative to tobacco. Sounds dangerous though, man. On Oliveira's legendary streak, he carried a lucky rock after every win. Brendan Schaub is a spastic. I used to watch everything that Brendan Schaub did. I really enjoyed him. But then he started sniffing his own farts a little bit too much. And he became less fun for me. Jesse on Fire has a Kratom sponsor. I feel like you're trolling me. How does it feel to prove Argenti wrong? The same way that it feels inhaling and exhaling air. It's that regular. It should be Volkov versus Alex, but of course there's no more merit in the UFC. Yeah. Machua, stop fucking with me, man. MMA is boring as fuck now. It is, man. It is. I would rate black pussy over white pussy. And I don't rate either very highly. But Asian pussy's on another level. But I don't think Volkov and Alex really makes that much sense unless it's for a belt. But on merit, Volkov should be next. Volkov should be fighting for the title next. As long as it's not Tom. You're not. All right. I believe you. Heroin is the new alternative to Kratom. I enjoy the partaking of the Asian pussy too. Very eloquently put. Jesse on Fire is also a spastic, a massive one. And what I'm really grateful for is I used to get Jesse on Fire videos crammed down my throat all the time. Like every single time I'd go on YouTube, his videos would pop up and I'd be like, no, this cunt again. But the algorithms kind of figured out that I think he's a cunt and they stopped recommending his videos. They don't have the best titties, but the hot ass and the kid, 100%, mate. Most of what you get when Asians have really nice sweat meat, they tend to be surgically enhanced, which ain't my thing. But I'm very like titties, as you so eloquently put them, are very low down on the list for me. So that's never really been a big problem. I don't mind a nice full pair, don't get me wrong, but I prioritize other things much more highly. Oh, guys, if you could smash that like button, I'd really appreciate it. It would be nice to get up to 20 if possible. Ambivalent's a great word. Ambivalent's a great word. But ambivalent is kind of like, how do I describe ambivalent? My brain is definitely not working today. Love a white girl with a bubble butt, though. I mean, bubble butts are where it's at. But when you get an Asian bubble butt, mate, they're different. Because Asians generally have good genes for asses. They just do. Please look into Kava. Hawaiians take it as a... I will look into it. I will. Clunge above all. Face, ass, titties are down the list. Third or fourth. Also look into the Blue Lotus. The Egyptians used it. I bought some. Pib, do you think it's a good idea for you to be taking these kind of hard drugs, though? Do you? Do you think that is a wise thing for you to be doing of all people? I don't know, man. What's up, mate? It's good to see you, bro. What does ambivalent mean? Ambivalent means when you kind of got contradicting opinions. That's how I would put it. It's where you've kind of got conflicting opinions about the same thing. Smash the like button. Can't say that anymore since Crystal changed her name. How you doing, Betty? What's good, man? Betty, I need to get your personal information somehow. I know that sounds creepy, but you know what I mean. If I die, I die. Fair enough, Pip. We need more synonyms. It's become that kind of stream. For some reason, it's just people are putting me on they're calling me out here. Spurs will be relegated. It would be hilarious. I kind of don't want it to happen. I only know one Spurs fan, and he's actually a good lad. It would be funny, especially with all this Big Six thing, because then it would put Newcastle very much in that conversation. Blue Lotus is on Egyptian writings. I will check it out. I'll definitely check it out. It's not really my thing. The Walker brothers are genuinely beefing. I thought they were trolling. What was that? What? Like, I noticed, I saw something about that. What is going on with that? What is going on with that? What are they beefing about? Did Walter Walker call out his own brother? Is that what happened? What was the... Because I missed all of that. I missed all of it. A sleep aid and an anxiety reliever. Okay, and it can cause hallucinations. I would love to take hallucinogenics at some point. I've said this before. Very parsimonious if you of you to say that, innit? Wow, man. If Spurs get relegated, you have to admit you're a YouTuber. Fine. Spurs fans are all prats. Newcastle will never be top 6. We will be top 6, mate. It might take a long time, but we will there. They soaked it in wine. It's a water lily. Voldemort a snake. Why is he a snake? Voldemort is amazing. I'm on Discord again. You want it? I am on it. I am on it. What I'll do is I'll send because I don't have my Discord link to hand. I don't really use it that much, but if I could get you on WhatsApp, so I'll get you on Discord first and then add you on WhatsApp. And then we can properly communicate, mate. Johnny called out Walker for fighting the half man. Oh. So it's Johnny Walker's fault. Say YouTuber like an American. YouTuber. I feel it's a joke, but I can't tell. Can you Google Kava and Kratom real quick? Thank you. I don't trust you, Pib. You haven't established that feeling of trust with me yet. Do you know what? Fuck it, I'll do it. Are you quit drinking, looking for alternatives? Hang on a second. For medicinal and recreational purposes, often marketed as natural alternatives for stress relief. While they are sometimes combined in kava bars for their calming and mood-enhancing effects, they are fundamentally different in their chemical makeup, effects on the body, and safety profiles. So it says it induces a state of calm sociability and reduced anxiety without clouding judgment. That sounds very interesting. I mean, it's not something that I would. I'm not going to be doing any kind of mad drugs until I'm older, until my kids are well above. So if I lose my shit, then who cares? You should try ayahuasca. I've heard you get mad diarrhea. I've heard of it. It doesn't really sound like my kind of thing. It sounds like people have really tripped balls off that and never come back to the good side. Do you know what I mean? Joe Rogan talked. I mean, if Joe Rogan puts all kind of shit in his body, though, Joe Rogan's gonna end up being a quivering vegetable because he takes all kind of dumb shit. It's legal. It's legal at smoke shops. I doubt it will be legal here. But when I go abroad, who knows? But because I don't drink all year round, I still get a nice little chill off drinking, man, or have a good little time off it. I looked up both of them. They are very different, apparently, but people kind of group them together. Let's try and get this stream up to 20 likes if we don't mind, boys and girls. I haven't watched a full Joe Rogan podcast in years. I don't know who that is. Is he the one who... I'm assuming he's been on Joe Rogan, if he's a real person. Sorry for my skepticism, but... Kratom is for junkies. Smoke weed, it's king. I used to be a massive weed head. Through the ages of 14 and 24, weed used to be the central point of my day. I used to basically, I used to center my day around my weed smoking activities. 100%. I was such a waste of space back then. More so than now, believe it or not. All right, Pib, I'll look it up. You're on a... Oh, yeah, I've seen this guy. He's an American mycologist, an entrepreneur who sells various mushroom products throughout his company. Interesting. Was he on Joe Rogan? I'm not familiar with mycology. Is that... I'm assuming that's the study of fungi, yeah? I'm assuming. I'm not a YouTuber, but like and subscribe and get me to 20 likes. The only reason for the like things is it pushes the video out there, as you know, and it ups the potential of getting new people in here, which is what we want. I just want the community to grow. All right, I'm shameless. Fuck it. Is keto not just a diet heroin? Furthermore, substantiate. What is going on today? Why are you guys fucking with me on a Sunday? This is not cool. This is not cool. He's the guy who's going to help mushrooms get legal so they can do clinical research. And anytime, I think it's always positive when something like that happens. Anything that can add to people's well-being or discovering new cures, because mushrooms are very, very profound things. There's a lot of good use you can get out of mushrooms that I think are going undiscovered at this point. I have brain damage from fighting MMA. Oh, that explains it. All right. I guess I should go more easy on you then. For sure. But no, I appreciate having you here, man, and being on more of a chilled vibe and actually teaching me something. It's a first time for everything, and I hope it continues. Because this is the side of you that I really enjoy. That I didn't know existed, to be perfectly honest. It's because you're godless. You're a godless pagan trying to go to church. I haven't set foot in a church in decades, mate. I'm worried that I will literally burst into flames. It helps with PTSD. Interesting. People talk about microdosing quite a bit. It's not something I'm very familiar with. But I'm meeting up with a friend of mine when I go to Manila. He's come and he is an expert on all drug taking. So I think I might do a little bit of I might ask him to bring some weed over with him. Get some of that sticky Thai weed. In fact, they have more gods than Christians. Godful, if you will. I got kicked in the head with shin guns and almost got KO'd. Fell on my ass, all dizzy, barely got up. That can do things to you. And imagine people doing that over a sustained period. YouTube thought it knew better. It never does. I hate the state that YouTube's in. I'm glad that I don't depend on this for any kind of income. Because it is sticky to be a full-time YouTuber now. It really is. It's horrible. You can lose your whole existence from one little mistake. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of YouTube as a platform. Which I know is a deeply ironic thing to say, seeing as I operate on it, but like I said, it's just more for community bases, you know. It's more for that than anything else. Frankie will not tolerate any of this superfluous vitriol in the chat. It's actually been a very chill one today. This is the one time when this hasn't happened. I use the word vitriol a lot. I love it. I love that word. Anyway, I think I'm going to call it a day in a minute because I've been promising myself that I'm going to play Black Myth Wukong. I finally bought it, and I want to see what the hype is all about. So I'm probably going to hit that up at some point this evening because I won't have time when I go back to work. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that. New Resident Evil game's coming out in 2 weeks as well, Resident Evil is my jam. It's the first game I ever played, the original one. Absolutely loved that game. So I'm looking forward to the new one, and it does look like it's going to be a banger. Kratom is like coffee without the jittery feeling. Interesting. I'm not Googling any of this. Mate, the streets of London are decorated with Ramadan decorations. More effort than Christmas. Sadiq Khan has fucked London. Yeah, he's a cunt, mate. Because of me, you're welcome, chat. I'm the life of the party. Man, I need to check my messages before I send. No, don't do that. Don't do that. These little mistakes make them more fun. They do. I need to get off schedule 1 because I've kind of taken the game as far as I can. Can you unblock me on Grindr? We're not that far yet, mate. We're not that far. You're gonna have to work, you're gonna have to build a few more bridges before I do that. Thoughts on Rupert Lowe? Off the top of my head, I can't. Let me see if I can. I fucking Googled a lot today. Rupert Lowe. Oh yeah, cunt as well. Well, he's a member of the British Parliament, so I assume cunt. So he's elected for Reform UK. I don't know that much about him. I don't. But isn't he making a comeback? Isn't he pushing the Reform Party again now? And apparently they're getting somebody like Rupert Lowe is going to end up being the next Prime Minister. Can you raid my friend's channel after? Absolutely, man. Post a link immediately. Post a link immediately. You know how supportive we are. Yeah, and I've heard he's launched a new party. Someone like him I'm telling you now, yeah. Oh, head of Restore Britain. they've got a very big backing at the moment. They have surged into contention. Neither the Conservatives or Labour Party are going to win the next election. They're not. So he could be the one to make it through. I mean, it's going to end up being more of the same shit, but at least he's going to get people thinking that they might have a chance of changing things. Can you bounce on my PP? Well, damn. There's the Pib that we know and hate. I was about to say know and love, but that's just a lie. I was worried you were unwell or that you were terminally ill, the way you've been talking for the last hour. So glad to hear you're absolutely fine. And disappointed too. Steve Laws, Mark Collett are real ones too. They're all real until they actually get in power though. Frankie, we need you to go live tomorrow. I'll try, man. I'll try. Your wife is getting deported. What a shame that would be. How gutted. 10% in one day he has. The momentum could be very much behind him. Mate, reform our recruiting politicians from Labour and Conservative. How the fuck are you going to get a different country if to say it's never going to change, mate? That's the point. Please go live tomorrow, you spastic. I'll try. I'm not going to guarantee that I will. It very much depends on how I'm feeling on a particular day. Like, I woke up this morning and kind of felt like, do you know what? I will. But there's once I plan the live, once I schedule it in, I always do it. But I very rarely do them on a whim. So I've got to wake up tomorrow and hope for it. Reform are finished in my eyes. You think so? The thing is, I think it's. I'm telling you now. There's going to be a leader of a new party in 2026 or 2027, whenever the next election is. But it's going to be more of the same shit. It just will be. You can name probably less than 5 leaders in the course of modern history that have actually been good leaders that have done well for their people, that were beloved. It doesn't. Nothing ever changes. Adolf for mayor. I'd rather put you in charge than the cunts we've got at the moment. What makes you think I need to be fixed? Brits are so demoralized, or most of them are. Me personally, I don't really worry about what's going on in the country too much because I've said this multiple times. I've spent my entire life to kind of position myself where I'm in a bubble, and I don't let it affect me. But I can tell you one thing for sure. I certainly don't want to live here long term. The most suspect country you visited. Suspect how? You're going to have to be specific. I'm going to have to be more specific on that one. Jesus, Pip, how do you come up with this stuff? It's crazy. Anyway, my voice is literally deserting me. Cheddar, if you're still here, will you link your mate's channel in the chat before I go? They want people from different backgrounds. Yeah, fuck it then. Apathy is peak demoralization, 100%. It's more dangerous than just being angry. It is. That feeling of just giving up, where you don't care. Apathy is basically like giving up and not caring about it. Like, not only do you not care about that thing anymore, but you've just given up. Suspect as in some cunt pulled out a gun on, I'd say in America. America, man. I got moved to by some crackhead lady. I almost got, well, it wasn't really a serious situation, but I was in like a phone shop and a guy came in and robbed it. And I was genuinely surprised at how I reacted in that situation. If Q Chick can unwrap a Starburst wrapper, I mean, that's some serious tongue talent. When was the first time you kissed a man? Still haven't done it yet, man. But you never know. You know, you never know, mate. You can never rule anything out, you know, especially with how drunk I get from time to time. But so far, no. Still haven't done that. What's it like? Maybe you can tell me what the experience is like. Come to America for good. Nah. What tiny little? I mean, I need to. I need to viddle. I need to visit the non-bait places of America. You know, like the Colorados and places like that before I can make my final conclusion. Because I've only been to like Vegas, LA, Washington, New York, Boston, them kind of places. I've never been to like Middle America and seen how regular Americans live their lives. So you left out the part where you dick slapped the robber in the face. I looked into it already, Pib. I looked it up. It's definitely not for me, but fair. You are talking gay without me. I know, autist, man. I know. Someone was asking me the first time I kissed a man, and I still haven't done that. But like I said, we never rule it out. Like the live cheds and access through the liked vids, and then it works. Ched, you can't send it. Yeah, if you could send the link, because I'm literally heading off now. Because I'm pretty damn tired. Thoughts on Rupert the Bear? Fraud, mate. I'm a Paddington guy. Rupert the Bear was a cheap knockoff. Although Rupert the Bear might have come first. I'm not even sure. Thoughts on Rupert the Bear? Definitely not the guy. I'm not promising. Why'd you have to put it like that? Nice one, Cheds. All right, so if people can head over. Oh, it's MMA. It's MMA Guru. You are hilarious. It's MMA Guru. He clearly needs my subs, mate. He's desperate for them. We need to boost him up. When I was in India, someone in the cunt hit my motorbike and his van and not even a sorry. Sounds about right. Have you watched Heated Rivalry? No. Can you stand up and show us the soggy diaper? I'm not wearing anything underneath right now. I'm bollock naked, mate. Winnie was the goat of bears. Yeah, Winnie was clearly stoned. He's up and coming. He is, man. Big up the MMA Guru, man. Up and coming YouTuber. Yeah, Guru's live now. Anyway, boys, I'm going to head off. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thanks for spending the last hour and a half with me. As always, it's been a pleasure. This has actually been a good one. And Pib, let's see that early chat, Pib, a lot more. I enjoyed that. I shouldn't feel like a shudder go down my spine every time you enter a chat. And I'm starting to think that you might be Batman because you two are never here at the same time. It's very, very suspicious. You're both the biggest cunts in the game, but I've never seen you in a room at the same time. And I can only imagine the chaos when it happens. Make sure you tell him Frankie says hi. It's a brilliant idea. Guru knows who I am. I mean, barely. He's been in my live streams before. Fair play to him. See, Vediamo Francesco, how you doing, Giuliano? What's good, man? Give me a shout on WhatsApp. I've got like a proposition for you. But anyway, guys, take it easy. I'll see you on the next one. I might be back tomorrow, but at latest, I'll be back Tuesday, I'd imagine. And Batman is not me, I promise. I don't know. There's some very suspicious similarities between the two of you. Anyway, guys, Gaz Ninja, shout out to you, man. I appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I'll probably come back on Tuesday for like a card breakdown. We'll have a little chat about Strickland versus Hernandez. I'm a big Fluffy fan, as you know. Fuck you and your jerky. All right, guys, much love. I'm going to head off now, but I'll see you all on the next one. Like I said, probably Tuesday. But you never know. You might see me tomorrow. We'll see how things go. In a bit, cunts.